Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. When 1,000-pound sister star Amy Slaton walked down the aisle to marry Brian Lavvern, her face glowed with the kind of joy that only comes from hard-earned happiness. For the devoted TLC viewers who followed Amy's tumultuous life journey, from her humble beginnings in Dixon, Kentucky, to her dramatic weight loss transformation and heartbreaking divorce, this was more than just another wedding. It was a rebirth. Amy's life has never been simple. Between raising 2 children, rebuilding her confidence after heartbreak, and navigating fame under the intense gaze of reality TV, she's learned to fight for her own version of happiness. And now, standing in a rustic Kentucky chapel surrounded by family, friends, and a handful of 1,000-pound sisters co-stars, Amy finally found what she'd been searching for: peace, love, and a partner who truly cherishes her. A fairy tale beginning in the heart of Kentucky. The wedding took place on a cool autumn afternoon in Morganfield, Kentucky, not far from where Amy and her sister Tammy Slaton grew up. The setting was picturesque. Rolling hills, orange and gold leaves blanketing the ground, and a vintage barn transformed into a romantic ceremony space. Twinkling fairy lights lined the rafters, and mason jars filled with wildflowers created a rustic charm that felt deeply personal, every detail handpicked by Amy herself. Guests were greeted by a wooden sign that read, "Welcome to our forever, Amy and Brian, November 2025. The ceremony wasn't lavish or over the top. It was intimate, warm, and deeply Kentucky. "I didn't want no big city fancy wedding," Amy reportedly told her fans during a live stream before the big day. "I wanted something real, something that feels like home." And that's exactly what she got. The bride who stole every heart. When Amy appeared at the barn entrance, even Tammy, known for her sarcastic humor, was visibly emotional. The bride wore a flowy ivory gown with delicate lace sleeves and a floral embroidered bodice that perfectly accentuated her post-weight loss figure. The transformation was undeniable. Gone was the shy, insecure woman from season 1. This was a confident, radiant Amy Slaton stepping into a new chapter. Her makeup was soft and natural, peach tones with a hint of shimmer, and her auburn hair fell in loose waves beneath a sparkling tiara. She carried a bouquet of sunflowers, roses, and baby's breath, wrapped with a ribbon in her late grandmother's favorite color, lavender. "I just wanted to feel beautiful," Amy said in a behind-the-scenes TLC clip. "Not like a reality star, not like someone people judge on the internet, just me." And beautiful she was. Brian Lavvern, the groom who won Amy's heart. Brian Lavvern, a local mechanic and family man, entered Amy's life quietly but meaningfully. Unlike her previous relationships, this one wasn't born out of fame or social media attention. The two reportedly met at a small-town barbecue event hosted by mutual friends in early 2024. "He didn't even know who I was at first," Amy once joked on TikTok. "He just thought I was some lady eating ribs like it was her last meal." What began as laughter turned into late-night phone calls, shared drives through Kentucky backroads, and endless heart-to-hearts about family, faith, and second chances. Brian, 39, is described by friends as humble and kind, a man devoted to his own kids and known in his town for his big heart. "He ain't fancy," Tammy quipped in one interview, "but he's real, and that's what my sister needs." At the ceremony, Brian wore a charcoal gray suit with a sunflower boutonniere pinned to his lapel. As Amy walked toward him, he teared up, a rare sight for the typically stoic groom. When asked later what went through his mind, he simply said, "I couldn't believe I was the one lucky enough to be loved by her." A ceremony filled with love and laughter. The officiant, a close family friend, began the ceremony with heartfelt words about love being a second chance for the soul. Amy and Brian wrote their own vows, a mix of humor, gratitude, and sincerity that had the entire audience laughing one moment and tearing up the next. Amy's vows were particularly emotional. "You saw me when I didn't even see myself," she began, her voice trembling. You loved me when all I saw in the mirror was pain. You told me I was worth loving, even when I didn't believe it. Thank you for giving me hope again." Ryan's response was equally touching. "You are my reason for smiling every morning. I promise to love your boys like my own, to make you laugh even when you don't want to, and to never stop fighting for us." The crowd erupted in applause as the officiant pronounced them husband and wife. Amy and Brian sealed it with a kiss, surrounded by cheers, camera flashes, and the sound of Tammy yelling, "About time," from the front row. Family reunited. Tammy steals the spotlight. Of course, no £1,000 Sisters event would be complete without Tammy Slaton making a statement. After her own incredible weight loss journey and newfound independence, Tammy has been enjoying her life more freely, and she showed up to Amy's wedding looking fabulous. She wore a deep green dress that matched the autumnal theme and accessorized with a gold shawl. More importantly, she seemed genuinely happy, a stark contrast to the tension-filled seasons fans remember. In a rare show of emotion, Tammy gave a heartfelt toast at the reception. "We been through hell together," she said, holding her glass of sweet tea high. "We lost people, we fought, we cried, but Amy, you never gave up. And now you're here starting over, smiling again. That's what family's all about." The room went silent, and for a brief moment, even the cameras seemed to fade away. It was just two sisters, survivors of hardship, fame, and self-doubt, finding peace in each other again. A reception to remember. Following the ceremony, guests were treated to a country-style dinner that reflected Amy and Brian's simple tastes: fried chicken, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, and sweet cornbread. The dessert table was a hit, especially the two-tier wedding cake decorated with buttercream sunflowers and a cute figurine of Amy and Brian sitting on a tractor. Amy's sons, Gage and Glenn, played a big part in the celebration. Gage helped his mom cut the cake, while little Glenn danced on the dance floor with Brian to a country remix of "Forever After All." The couple's first dance was to "Tennessee Whiskey" by Chris Stapleton, a soulful, heartfelt choice that had everyone swaying under the warm glow of fairy lights. "I picked that song 'cause it's real," Amy said later. "It ain't about being perfect, it's about loving someone through all the mess." From reality TV to real love, Amy's journey has been anything but easy. Fans first met her as one half of the Slaton sisters, two women struggling with obesity and complex family dynamics. The early seasons of £1,000 Sisters often showed Amy's dreams of motherhood colliding with her health challenges and financial hardships. After losing weight and giving birth to her two boys, Amy faced a public and painful divorce from her ex-husband, Michael Halterman. The split left her emotionally drained, but she channeled her energy into healing and rediscovering herself. Brian entered her life at just the right time. Unlike Michael, he wasn't part of the show's chaos. He grounded her in normalcy. "He doesn't care about cameras or fame," Amy once told a friend. "He just cares about me." Even Tammy noticed the difference. "Amy laughs more now," she said in a recent TLC interview. "She's more herself again. I think that's love doing its thing." The fans react. As photos of Amy's wedding flooded social media, fans couldn't contain their excitement. "She looks so happy. This is the Amy we've all been rooting for," one fan commented on TikTok. "After everything she's been through, she deserves this fairy tale," another wrote on X, formerly Twitter. Even former TLC castmates sent their congratulations. Chris Combs, Amy's brother, joked in a post, "Y'all, I never thought I'd see my sister in a dress that fancy. She's come a long way from her YouTube makeup tutorials." The comments section quickly filled with hearts, sunflower emojis, and well wishes from fans who have followed Amy's transformation for years. A honeymoon close to home. True to their down-to-earth nature, Amy and Brian didn't jet off to an exotic location. Instead, they opted for a cozy honeymoon in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. They spent a week in a mountain cabin hiking, cooking together, and enjoying life away from cameras. Amy shared a few glimpses on social media, pictures of her sipping cocoa by the fire, laughing with Brian on a scenic overlook, and holding hands as the fog rolled over the Smoky Mountains. "It ain't about where you go," Amy captioned one photo. "It's about who you're with." A new chapter for Amy Slaton. Marriage marks a new chapter in Amy's ongoing evolution, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. She's lost weight, yes, but she's also shed years of insecurity, pain, and public scrutiny. "She's glowing again," Tammy said proudly. "You can tell she's found peace." TLC producers have hinted that Amy's wedding and her life with Brian may be featured in the upcoming season of 1,000 Sisters. However, Amy reportedly plans to keep some parts of her marriage private, focusing instead on building a stable home for her boys. "Fame don't matter," she said in an Instagram Q&A. "All I want now is to raise my kids, love my husband, and be happy." The symbolism of Amy's journey. Amy's wedding symbolizes more than a union, it's a statement of survival. For years, viewers watched her battle food addiction, body image struggles, and heartbreak in front of millions. Her vulnerability made her one of the most relatable figures on reality TV. Yet through every setback, Amy's resilience shone through. Now, with Brian by her side, she's rewriting her story, not as a victim of circumstance, but as a woman who fought her way back to joy. This transformation is a powerful reminder that self-love is the foundation of all other kinds of love. Amy didn't just lose weight. She gained wisdom, perspective, and self-worth. Tammy's final words. During the wedding reception, Tammy was asked by TLC producers how she felt seeing her sister married again. She paused for a long moment before responding. "I used to think happiness was something people like us couldn't have, but seeing Amy today, I know that's a lie. We deserve this. We both do." Her words resonated not only with fans but with anyone who's ever battled their own demons. Closing scene. A sunset in Kentucky. As the sun dipped below the Kentucky hills, Amy and Brian stood hand in hand, watching the sky turn shades of pink and gold. The wind rustled through the trees, carrying the faint sound of laughter and country music from the barn behind them. Amy leaned her head on Brian's shoulder and whispered, "This feels like home." He smiled and replied, "That's because it is." For once, the cameras didn't need to capture every detail. The story was already perfect, a tale of redemption, resilience, and real love in the heart of Kentucky. What's next for Amy? Fans can expect to see more of Amy's new life in the upcoming season of 1,000 Sisters. Insiders say TLC will explore how she balances motherhood, marriage, and continued self-care while maintaining her sense of humor. Amy has already hinted that she and Brian are planning to buy a home together, a country fixer-upper where they can raise the kids and maybe add a few pets. In a recent video message to fans, Amy shared one final thought. "Don't give up on love, no matter how many times you fall. Sometimes, you gotta go through the wrong ones to find the right one." And for Amy Slaton, that right one just happens to be Brian Lavvern, the man who saw past the TV cameras, past the weight, and into the heart of a woman who never stopped believing in second chances.